Hello everyone, and welcome to my Iconic Goodbyes channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless recap for Tuesday, March 11th, Sharon and Phyllis are lab rats, and white van is linked to kidnappings. The Young and the Restless recap for Tuesday, March 11th, indicates Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers will be lab rats as a white van is linked to their kidnappings. In captivity, Sharon will pressure Phyllis to swallow what she believes to be the antidote, but Phyllis will be skeptical. However, Phyllis would eventually swallow the water bottle labeled with a sticker and feel better a few minutes later. Sharon will wonder if Phyllis would have done the same for her if the circumstances were reversed. Phyllis will act as if she wouldn't have, but Sharon will think that Phyllis would have also assisted her. After thanking Sharon for saving her life and taking her hand, Phyllis will try to rest on the sofa. The captor will finally tell Sharon that this is not personal and that they should consider of it as an experiment. Sharon will rant about being lab rats and how emancipation does not guarantee that they will be reunited with their families. Sharon's shouts startle Phyllis, and she admits she doesn't think they'll be getting out of there anytime soon. Newman will reach up to Victoria Newman about his fears about Sharon and Phyllis, who are still missing. Daniel Romalotti Jr. will join the discussion before Chancellor provides some updates. New CCTV footage will provide confirmation that a white van with no windows arrived after Phyllis left the athletic club. Sharon was also photographed in the Cassidy First parking lot, near the van that had been taken from a medical supply firm earlier that morning. Now that they have this clue, Nick hopes to figure out where Sharon and Phyllis are. On Tuesday's episode of YNR, Summer Newman will sabotage Kyle Abbott's date with Claire Newman by insisting it is about Harrison Abbott. Summer would suggest that Harrison may have heard anything about Phyllis's departure and that they should speak with him tonight to reassure him. Kyle will give in when Summer insists that things cannot wait, so she will be happy. Summer will try to persuade Claire not to wait, but she will choose to have a drink at the bar. Claire will find the martini she orders too strong, so Holden Novak will join them and order Vespers instead. That will appeal to Claire, so Holden will engage her in a flirtatious conversation about James Bond before exchanging introductions. When Kyle returns with Summer, they will see Holden and Claire clinking drinks. Summer will point out that Claire has made a new friend, making Kyle appear a touch envious as he takes her away from Holden and attempts to get their date back on track. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Claire and Kyle will face more relationship troubles in the future, so we'll keep you updated on all of the worrisome news. Causing trouble, single and ready to mingle. Tough decision. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, March 11th indicate some fascinating developments in Genoa City. One character causes problems for a wonderful marriage, another is single and ready to mingle, and someone has a difficult decision to make. It's time to plunge in and discover what type of drama unfolds on Tuesday's episode. Summer Newman stirs the pot. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, March 11th indicate that Summer Newman will stir problems between Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman. During the Friday, March 7th episode, the two were all set to go on a date, and they had arranged babysitters for Harrison Abbott, as Jack Abbott and Diane Abbott suggested. Summer lingered in the shadows at Crimson while Kyle was on the phone with Claire, finalizing preparations. Summer appears to be planning a stunt that would not only end their date but also lead to a conflict between the two. What exactly does Summer do? Fans will need to tune in to find out. Read more. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nick and Billy's car ride to chaos, chase lead on Sharon and Phyllis's location. Holden Novak explores his alternatives across town. It appears that Holden Novak will consider some of his alternatives in Genoa City. He's infatuated with old buddy Audra Charles, but it appears he'll meet someone new on Tuesday's show. Kyle will either cut his date with Claire short or cancel it entirely, so she will become Holden's new acquaintance before the end of the episode. Claire is alone at the GCAC bar in the March 10th, 14 preview until Holden arrives to chat. Will these two have some sparks? Should Kyle be worried? Phyllis Summers' tough dilemma. Finally, Phyllis Summers faces a difficult dilemma. Will she believe Sharon Newman's puzzle-solving abilities and drink the water antidote or not? As viewers are aware, Phyllis was poisoned during Monday's show, and Sharon assumed that the antidote was an especially marked water bottle. Will Phyllis decide to trust Sharon or go her own way? YNR comings and goings March 10th to 14th, super couple returns, X swings in for comfort. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of March 10th to 14th point to some big bombshells on the way. Fans know that Genoa City can be a revolving door, with characters coming and going just to return. Welcome back, Traylon. According to the Young and the Restless teasers, Beth Maitland will reprise her Tracy Abbott character, and Christopher Cousins will reprise his Alan Lauron role when the super couple makes a splashy return on Wednesday, March 12th. During the show, Traylon will appear in scenes alongside Jack Abbott and Diane Abbott as two couples embark on a double dinner date. Tracy is set to share some good news with her brother, and it appears that the word marriage may be included in the announcement. Is this the happily ever after viewers had been hoping for with Tracy, or is there a danger looming? After all, some audience members continue to believe Alan is Martin's wicked twin brother. Could it be the case? Fans will have to tune in to find out what happens next. More airtime for Chancellor actor Connor Floyd is not under contract with the program. However, this may be difficult to determine since Chancellor continues to dominate screen time, which is fantastic for him and his fans. Chance will be seen comforting his ex, Summer Newman, in the episode airing on Wednesday, March 12th. He'll also come on the Friday, March 14th broadcast to brief Nick Newman and Billy Abbott on a lead regarding Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman's abduction. Can these three men get the ladies home already? 3 reasons for Phyllis's illness on the Young and the Restless. Is Sharon in on it? Sharon scared out. Their captor gloated. But is anything with Phyllis ever what it appears? Here are 3 strategies she may employ to obtain an advantage over them all. Fake it till you make it. Phyllis was so fed up with the argument she and Sharon were having about Phyllis forgiving Sharon that she pretended to be ill in order to avoid talking. We realized she was acting when she claimed to feel queasy, then pretended to have cramps before screaming that her stomach was on fire. Those are 3 separate things. You'd expect a person who was truly unwell to be consistent. It takes 2. This is a strategy Sharon and Phyllis devised together to catch their captor off guard. They staged the fight about how they'd never get along. After all, are we expected to believe they'd have the same talk repeatedly? For what purpose? To dupe their captor into believing his scheme was working while they were in complete control and extracting answers from him simultaneously. Phyllis wasn't actually unwell, but they figured if the guard thought she was, he'd become arrogant and inadvertently reveal something about himself and his desires. Old Faithful. And then there's the soap dispenser. Nausea from soap can only imply one thing: Phyllis is pregnant. Sure, she's the mother of 2 grown children, a grandma twice over, if you include Summer's constant claims to Harrison as, my son, my son, my son. But Phyllis is still young and virile. Did you see her performing all of those jumping jacks? Phyllis is vibrant enough to become pregnant. And this is not poison at all. Phyllis is poisoned. Sharon tries to help Phyllis. At the Genoa City Athletic Club, Nate inquired about Holden. She asserted that Holden was solely responsible for the issue, despite the fact that he claimed he needed a buddy and preferred her. Audra was uninterested, but admitted he was the only way to discover more about Damien. Back in the penthouse, they discussed Amy's strength and hoped Nate's doctor acquaintance could assist her. Audra stated that Holden claimed they were buddies until he started working with Damien. She suspected Holden despised him and observed Damien's nasty temper. Nate stated that Lily had been researching. He was concerned Damien would flee if he found out, which would be awful for Amy. He further stated that Damien was merely the CEO and not the firm owner. They questioned why he had lied. Nate was concerned that too many people were prying, which could destroy everything. He remained hopeful for a relationship with his half-brother. Audra urged caution while gathering additional facts. Nate remained committed to facilitating a reconciliation for Amy's sake. Audra pledged to continue her investigation discreetly, but Nate opposed to her utilizing Holden for information. She mocked him about being jealous, emphasizing how important their connection was. They kissed. When Holden apologized to Audra and asked for friendship, Nate responded on her behalf, consenting. Meanwhile, in the basement, Phyllis exercised and accused Sharon of creating a bucket list. They argued, with Phyllis insulting Sharon's past. Sharon begged Phyllis to assist them solve their captor's riddles, but she refused, stating she had already figured them out. When Sharon persisted, Phyllis offered the answer, forgiveness. However, Phyllis stated that she would sooner die than forgive Sharon. Sharon continued looking for hints. Their conversation shifted to past betrayals, and Phyllis insisted that she would never forgive Sharon. Phyllis bent over in agony, believing she had been poisoned. Sharon called for assistance, and their captor instructed her to locate the antidote. As Phyllis whimpered in pain, she apologized. Sharon looked furiously and eventually discovered a water bottle with a sticker, which she assumed was the antidote. Falling apart elsewhere, Nick met with Billy to discuss Phyllis's absence. Billy had already made calls, but he realized something was wrong. They talked about potential kidnappers, including Ian Ward, but Nick knew Ian had been burned. They concluded that Phyllis and Sharon were probably taken together. Nick was dissatisfied and believed the family was disintegrating again. Billy reminded him to be kind to himself. As they pondered their next moves, ranch security contacted to say there were no leads from the camera tape. Nick left to check in with the others. Phyllis makes a choice. Summer also makes one. Phyllis is on the hot seat, having to choose between helping herself and helping others. Knowing Phyllis, that should be an easy decision. Phyllis does not enjoy being locked up with Sharon. She was ready to smash a window and shout until Sharon warned her not to, as did the frightening voice that watched them at all times. Sharon and Phyllis are unsure whether the objective of imprisoning them is to put them at odds with each other or to force them to embrace. Neither appear to be happening at the moment. So now it's time to pit the two hostages against one another. Phyllis has the opportunity to make a move that could save her at Sharon's expense. Phyllis has proven herself capable of sacrificing her own children in order to achieve her goals. Are we really supposed to believe she would need more than a minute to decide whether to throw Sharon under the bus? Possibly literally? A lever to move the world. Summer will tell anyone who would listen that she is fine with Kyle dating Claire. Summer does not want Kyle. She merely wants them to be great co-parents for Harrison. Claire is always welcome, whenever they can fit her into their extremely busy and joyful family calendar. Despite Kyle and Claire's requests, she has some misgivings about their developing relationship. Oh, is this upsetting them? Summer most certainly did not intend to do that. Holden pretended to be Damien before stretching his wings. Then he feigned to not know Audra. Now he's ready to do something sincere. And only for himself. Holden and Claire's encounter, Sharon's rescue mission. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, March 11, 2025 are available. Tomorrow's program will feature a rescue effort for Sharon Newman. Will Phyllis Summers live or die, though? Meanwhile, Holden Novak meets Claire Grace Newman. Summer Newman's diversion on Tuesday, March 11th, fans can expect Summer Newman to make complications for Kyle and Claire. In reality, this time, Summer not only gets in the way, but she also causes problems for the new marriage. Summer overheard Kyle making romantic arrangements for Claire. Summer does not want them to become any closer than they already are. Summer knows Kyle isn't in love with Claire yet, so she'll take advantage of Claire's romantic night. Kyle Abbott's complication. Fans recall that Kyle and Diane Jenkins Abbott had a lengthy discussion concerning Harrison Abbott. Diane was excited to babysit little Harrison during the renovations. Diane offered to watch Harrison while his family stayed at a motel. Unfortunately, it appears that Summer's diversion may prevent Diane and Jack Abbott from babysitting. Of course, Summer may employ another strategy to split Claire and Kyle. Claire Grace Newman's encounter. The Young and the Restless teasers for tomorrow hint that Summer's diversion may cause Kyle to be late. Claire sits at the bar and orders a big drink. That's when Holden approaches Claire, which is unusual. Claire appears caught off guard, but could she form a romantic relationship with Holden? There's also the fact that Damian Kane sent Holden back to Los Angeles. Holden also informed Audra Charles that he was ready to board an airplane. Holden isn't at the airport, so what happens to Claire? At the abandoned psychiatric facility, Phyllis drank poisoned water. While Sharon is confident she has discovered the antidote, it is as plausible that it will complete the job. Phyllis would die either way, so taking the bottle Sharon offers her is her best option. Of course, Phyllis will never want to give Sharon credit for saving her life. So this is truly an interesting quandary. It's also likely that in order for Phyllis to be civil, Sharon needed to rescue her life in some way. Was this part of the captor's plan? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.